Hello, everybody. My name is Lady Sora. Um, so I'm not playing a game in this video. I guess you could technically call this a vlog. Unfortunately, you can't see my face. The recorder that I'm using doesn't have access to my computer camera. I could record this on my phone or something, but my phone is low on storage. Tablet, same thing, and I don't want to mess with my camera. So I'm doing it this way. Um, Many of you probably know that I'm a huge fan of Linkin Park, and I'm sure most of you by now have heard about his death and his suicide, and that was a couple of days ago now, and almost 3 days ago now, I guess, and as I'm sure you can imagine, that hit me really hard. Um, he has been an inspiration to me for, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years, really, since I first started listening. Maybe like a year after I first started listening, I kind of started looking up to him because, despite the really shitty life that he had, growing up, his childhood, he was sexually abused, and as a teen, he struggled with drugs and alcohol. And then even as a young adult, like kind of early in his adult life, he still struggled with drugs and alcohol. But he managed to move on from all that and become an amazing person with this personality that was somehow both sweet and badass. And I loved that. And he inspired me to keep moving forward, even when my life felt absolutely horrible and hopeless. I kept going. I drew strength from him, from the fact that, you can do anything if you put, I guess, your mind to it. I mean, he really did. He inspired me. He made me laugh. He's always, there was so many of the videos. They released so many videos, just like underground videos, like behind the scenes kinds of things, and there were so many funny videos of the whole band, and a lot of just Chester just being a complete goofball. And I always loved watching those videos. They always made me so happy. And it really hit me hard when I found out. I mean, I first found out, and I was shaking, I was crying, my world turned upside down. And it hasn't even fully sunk in, honestly, that it's happened. I mean, it's just like, oh, right, that, yeah, he's gone. And it hurts. And I mean, of course, it hurts. Scrolling through social media and whatever, of course, there's so much stuff. I follow not just Linkin Park fan pages, but so many other different music groups and artists. And then I also follow a lot of mental health things. So, with a combination of that, I'm seeing his face everywhere on social media, and it hurts. I mean, it's like it's nice to see the tributes, but at the same time, with the constant reminder, it's hard. Uh, I wore one of my Linkin Park shirts to work today, and one woman commented on it, and it was just, it was hard. I got to try not to cry because I actually work with kids, and I had to try not to cry because I didn't want to just start crying in front of them. Um, but anyway, um, so it's been a rough past few days because of that. I never would have guessed. I mean, if you told me a month ago that my biggest inspiration, my hero, was going to take his own life, I would not have believed you. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that would say the same thing, which is why it was such a shock. Um, but the other thing that was kind of one thing that I wanted to talk about in this video. But I think the main point that I want to make in this video is the topic of suicide itself. Um, so yes, Chester Bennington died of suicide, um, as has been confirmed by medical examiners. I know that there's rumors flying around that he was actually murdered because of some weird thing with Chris Cornell and um, like I don't know, some thing. I can't think of the word right now. Um, a pedophile ring, some weird thing where I don't know. There's rumors flying around about that, and I mean, you never know. But as far as I know right now, he died by suicide, and that's really serious, obviously. And Chris Cornell did that in May, and we've lost a lot of great people, both famous and not famous, to suicide. Just within the past 5 years, we lost Robin Williams. We lost that actor from Glee, if I remember correctly. He died by suicide. I can't think of his name right now, unfortunately. I know it was like Chris something. I can't think of his name right now, even though I actually do love Glee and I watch it a lot. Um, and I know and I'm sure there's other celebrities also that we've lost that I just don't know about. And we've also, of course, lost just normal people. Like I lost a good friend of mine just this past year, and it's hard. It's painful to realize that someone you care about has been in pain, and that they suddenly decided that they were done with it, and that you never knew about it. It makes every single person who ever knew them feel so guilty. And it sucks. I'm not saying that suicides are bad people. They're not bad people. They're not heartless. They're not cowards. They're amazing people. If anything, they feel too much. And that's why they can't stand it. And it's easy to be mad at them. It's easy to even hate them. Especially when you have someone like Chester who left behind a wife and 6 kids and so many people who loved him so much. But you have to understand how depression works. It's a horrible thing that can completely change who a person really is. There is a difference between who you think a person is and who they really are. None of us, I don't think any of us really know what Chester was really hiding. I mean, now we know because now he's gone and now everything is coming out about him. But other than the people closest to him, no one knew how much pain he was really in. And even they didn't know all of it. And it's something that is so frequently misunderstood. Um, and it's, it just hurts. Um, and the other thing I want to say is, if suicide, it is not the answer. It's really not. Um, Even when it feels like you have no life left to live, there's always something. There is always, always, always something, no matter how hopeless it may feel. And I know that there are so many fans who, people like me who've looked up to Chester because of how strong he was, who feel hopeless right now. But um, he, there is always hope. There is always something to live for. And I know that it's easy to feel like that there's not. The past couple of months for me have been really hard. Emotionally, I've been struggling a lot with depression, and it's not fun. And I completely understand how it feels to get so low that you feel like you have nothing left. But there's always something, whether it's a person or a place or, a hope for the future. There's always something. I stay alive for the people that I love because I really do. There's so many people whom I love and people who care about me, and I could never leave them. I can't. I could never leave them. I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying that suicides are bad people for leaving the people who love them. It's just, I'm just saying that that's one of the things that's kept me going through my difficult times is, the people I love and the people who love me. Um, Along with, the many hopes and dreams that I do have for the future. I want to have like, I don't know, 10 pugs someday. Um, and I want, I want to be an artist. I want my artwork to be known. I want to be a person who is known for being just this incredible, loving, caring, beautiful person. And I know that probably people who know me will say that's already what I'm known for, which is nice. It makes me happy because people have told me that, and that makes me really happy. I want to make a difference. I really want to make a difference in the world. Who doesn't? Everybody does. Um, and so that's what I live for. I live so that I can help people. I live so that I can hopefully see a better world someday. I live because I have hope. Um, but I know I completely understand how difficult it can be to live sometimes. I know how it feels to just not want to get out of bed. I know how it feels to just not want anything, to just be so lost and numb. I know. But I also know that there's always hope. There's always some light. There's always something. You just have to look for it. And maybe it'll come soon, or maybe it'll take a while, but it's there. And I believe in you. I don't know how many people will see this video. I only have 26 followers, and maybe only 8 of them ever actually watch anything I ever post. So, but to anyone who does watch, or I guess really listen to this, because there's nothing to see other than, my tribute picture that I made. So to anyone listening, I believe in you. And I know that doesn't feel like much, but it's something. I hope that at least I believe in you. I believe that there is something for you. And you know what? I love you. I never actually hate anyone. I may say, like, oh, I hate this person, or oh, I hate that, or whatever, but I never really hate anyone. It's hard for me to, there may be people that I kind of dislike or get annoyed at or whatever, but I never can truly hate anyone. And you know what? I love you. I love all of you. All 26 of you. And to the people who are watching this and don't even know who the heck I am, I love you too. And I believe in you. Um, so, I guess that's kind of all I have to say about this. And I just want to encourage you, if you are having suicidal thoughts, if you're seriously considering taking your own life, please, you know, call the suicide hotline, email them, text, talk to somebody. I don't just, please don't. There is a reason to live. Everyone has a reason to live. And I know that sometimes fighting the war against whatever you're fighting against, it can be really hard sometimes. But I believe in you. And I know that there are other people who do too. So, um, thank you so much for watching. And rest in peace, Chester. We all miss you. And you will always be my hero. Bye bye. Oh shit, now I gotta try and end this stupid thing. Sorry.